So today we are here with Paula.
Hello.
It's been a while since you've been on.
I know. It's been like over a year, I think.
Oh, definitely. I can't even remember the last time we had you on. But everybody loved you.
Oh, thanks.
But
Thanks,
for
everyone.
those that may not know you, and if they don't, they really need to go follow you. Why don't you give us who you are, your socials, your house, and your favorite character?
Oh, that's so hard. Okay, so my name is Paula. My Instagram account, Pottergram account is Unconceivable. And I have a small shop called Little London Boutique. So I do all kinds of stuff, but mostly Harry Potter themed items. My favorite character is Neville Longbottom, and I am in the best house, Hufflepuff.
I'll debate the best house, but you are my
The
favorite
Hufflepuffs will
Hufflepuff.
agree.
So this weekend, the lovely people at CineConcerts gave Paula and I tickets to go see Harry Potter in concert, The Order of the Phoenix.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you haven't seen it and you have the opportunity to do so, like, I think that's like the best way to see these movies. Like, you don't realize how music kind of, like, how much music goes into it. It's so
even
impressive.
Like the feeling of the music.
Yeah, it definitely gives you more like the, like the tinglies.
Oh, yes. So people that don't know what CineConcert is, they take movies, most like if John Williams has done music, there's probably one of these out there for him, where they pull all the music out of the movie. You watch the movie on a screen, and underneath the orchestra plays all the music live. So this is my third one. So I saw Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, and now Order.
So I've been to two, and both of them have been Order of the Phoenix. But it's also my favorite movie.
I feel like you said that to me, and I didn't connect that we were watching Order, and the one you had seen was Order.
Yeah, it's okay. I still loved it, and now I feel like I could play the violin easily. I'm ready.
You can play that violin.
Really can't, but
so Order of the Phoenix is not one of my favorite movies, but this is why. And I think this is my problem, because I really enjoyed it and I had so much fun and I forgot how much that movie makes me laugh. I'm not the biggest fan of the translation of book to movie, but if I look at it as a movie, it ranks higher.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed so much, and I don't know if it's because like the communal thing, because it's like seeing a movie in a movie theater where everyone's a fan of the thing and you just kind of like enjoy the presence of everyone around you.
Right. No, and I loved like the whole, how at the beginning they tell you, cheer for your favorite characters, boo the ones you don't like. Mm-hmm. I think that kind of adds to that feeling of like, this is like way more awesome. Like when people were like clapping,
and then it gets like really funny when they're confused on what to do. Because I think it was like when Umbridge came out, people were like clapping, and I think they were like, "Oh yeah, Imelda Staunton, amazing!" But then they were like, "Boo, boo!" Umbridge. But they weren't quite sure like which way they were supposed to be going.
Like when they take her, like when the centaurs take her, like, "Boo yeah, boo!" It's the best way to see a movie, and I can't wait to see like the other ones.
Same.
And I know they play them in order, but
yeah, so when it starts in a city, it'll play through all of it. So next year, Orlando should get number 6. I think next year Tampa gets 5.
Okay.
They had 4 earlier this year, and it was just when I found out about it, it was too late.
When I saw Order the first time, I saw it in Miami. In I think like the end of 2021, right before the Panini.
Yeah, so they may or may not be on 6 already.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they really only just started up pretty recently.
So they only do like one a year?
Usually it's yearly. I
they
at
should
least
do
in the
more.
cities, because the other two I've seen were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and
Mhm.
they did it as a yearly basis, and it was usually the same time of year in Tulsa. That's how they
Okay.
built it into their season. So the same time every year they would do the next movie.
Right. That makes sense though, because that's also like when the like touring Broadway shows start to like slow down.
Yeah,
That makes
like, and it
sense.
just goes with the season, and it is the with them it's the local Philharmonic Orchestra that does it, so it's not a traveling
Right.
orchestra like the local. It was the Orlando Philharmonic, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, that's what he
um
said at the beginning.
yeah, and they
I
were
was
great.
impressed.
i
Yeah,
I
I'm
loved. I
telling
get
you.
really distracted because I end up watching the orchestra the whole time.
Me too. I'm like trying to like follow, like, oh, where's that sound coming from? Or
This one was interesting for me because we sat in the orchestra section.
Mhm.
The last time I had seen it, I was up in the mezzanine, so you can actually see the screen the conductor watches with the movie on it, and how it like that fascinated me last time I saw that. But I was like, I can't see it from this perspective, so it was like a whole new type of watching.
Yeah. Every I feel like when you go see a show or anything, there is no bad seat. It's just a different perspective. Like you said, we also sat in mezzanine for when we did Order in Miami, and we same thing. I could see the conductor's screen, which is cool too.
It is. Well, it interests me because I was like, because you're always like, how does he do this? Because I know they had to like make music to fill in some spots, because then the music would disappear and there wasn't any orchestration. It's just like awkwardly silent.
Right.
But I will say, and since I first seen these, the first time I experienced these was at Celebration of Harry Potter. They did a like conglomeration from a few of the movies, and like picked and chose and like spliced it all together. And that was my first experience ever seeing anything like that. If I had seen that as a child, I would know how to play an instrument right now, because like mentally the connection of, oh, this music is that instrument playing that on that screen. Because sound is not
like, ooh.
Sound is not my skill set at all. I'm
Right.
very visual. So like seeing that was just like, oh, it connected in my brain. I was like, if I would have seen that.
I never thought that like the Umbridge song, the dun, 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 was violins. Never in my mind did I think that that sound was coming from violins. And watching her, I was like, oh, I could do this too. I was like, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Think it, play it, you got it. We just need to get you a violin.
Now, every time I see that scene, I'm always going to think of the violin player.
Mine was when they were running down to Hagrid's, like the little high notes are just like, yeah. And it's just like music we've heard so many times because we know the movies. Yeah. We have them play in the background, but you notice more sounds when it's being played live. Like you and I discussed, this is like the end of the movie, but like the ministry scene where we just kept hearing the big drum and it made it like that much more tense.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, the drama is here. It's happening.
It is. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm like on edge and I know what's going to happen. But this drum is just like hitting my soul.
Yeah, it hits different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you can feel it in your heart. Like you feel it sooner, even though you've watched the movie 1,000 times, you're definitely more emotionally connected when you're watching it this way. So to me, if it's in your area and you can do it, you should do it.
I think agree. It's amazing. Go see them all. Even go out of your area.
My God. I did look to see if there was anything close.
I regularly check to see where they're coming from. Even some of their other ones, like my friend was talking about it, and I love her. We've known each other for over 20 years, and I have not been able to get her to have any interest in Harry Potter.
Oh, that's me with my sister.
It's my biggest disappointment in life is that Megan does not care for. It's not that she doesn't like it. She just has zero interest, so she's never even bothered. Yeah. And I still have hope that I will convince her child to like Harry Potter. But I mentioned like they do the Polar Express during Christmas.
Yes, I would love to take the kids to see that.
Yeah, they do Polar Express. They do Elf.
Elf is like my favorite Christmas
We're gonna
movie.
just be like starting to like message each other. We're like, hey, this one's coming. Are we going?
This one's coming. Are we going? Yeah, because it's definite to me. It's the best way to see a movie. I don't know about like if you've never seen the movie, but if it's a movie you've seen, it's definitely a different feeling.
Yeah, I think you would want to see the movie just because you don't necessarily pay attention to the movie because you start watching the orchestra, which is awesome. But I feel like if I didn't know the movie, I'd like look back up and I go, "What's going on?"
Right? Or you.
And they put subtitles on it. They put the subtitles.
Yeah. The subtitles is awesome. I mean, I watch stuff with subtitles anyway. As a, it's common for me. I do it all the time.
There were things with subtitles that I was just like laughing at because it's such background conversation that you don't notice. It was the one it was when Ron's coming down the stairs with Hermione at Grimmauld Place, and they're talking about what is it, the hat that Mrs. Weasley made him?
Oh no, the vest.
The vest, yeah. And he's just like, I look ridiculous. And Hermione was like, that's no different than regular, like something along.
But it's like a whisper that
it's whispered so you don't actually hear it, but reading it, I was laughing so much about it.
And there's other things that you just like the scene where Luna, like you meet Luna for the first time, that when they're in that carriage and you see Neville there, like
he looks terrified.
He looks scared. I'm like, oh, you're so
he's cute. Like sitting as far back and away from her, hugging his Mimbletonia, like being like, who is this child? Keep her away from me.
Yeah. He's like, so funny.
I love Neville.
Me too. He's the best.
So, and people come dressed up. There were a lot of cloaks.
Yes.
It's completely acceptable. I actually felt weird going in, and there were so many people in normal clothes. I wasn't quite sure where I was.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of Muggle clothing.
A lot of Muggles about, but it was okay.
There was people dressed to the nines too, like dressed up like they were going to the opera. I was like, whoa.
Like you had everything. You had Dumbledore on one side.
Yeah.
Ball gowns on the other.
Ball gowns on the other. It was like, whoa. I would hate that.
Full house representation.
Yes, definitely.
But that's the fun thing about it, is that like you can come celebrate your house and you just find fun people to be around. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, to me, I just need like the littlest push to like dress up in like any type of Harry Potter type.
I don't think you even need a push. You just need to be like, Harry Potter thing. What am I wearing?
What am I wearing? Yeah. Having my mom sew the night before.
Yes,
I keep sending my mom stuff and she's like, you could just, you sew, so maybe you can like, you get this, but like anytime I send her something, she's like, you could just use a lab coat. Leave me alone. I'm like, what? Lady?
See, my problem is that I have an idea in my head. I'm like, I can't just use a lab coat because I have an idea in my head and that's the idea and I need to go with it.
Like I'm dying to make Professor Sprout's hat.
You should do it.
Right?
LeakyCon is coming.
I don't think I have that kind of time.
Yeah, we're cutting it close.
Yeah, that's like, and right now I'm still working on the other stuff, so
yeah,
we'll see.
But your Luna was amazing.
Thank you. I just really like that wig.
I don't wear wigs, but but from what I know is that when you find a good wig,
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a good wig. It just doesn't bother me.
Like a comfortable wig. I guess comfortable is more.
It's not like it doesn't have like lace front or anything like that. It's just a basic blonde wig, but I love it.
It seemed relatively easy to put it on because you put it on in the parking garage.
Exactly. I came half dressed and dressed the rest in the parking garage, and then afterwards we undressed.
Yeah, just people watching the weird strangers in the parking garage.
Just
take off all the Harry Potter clothes.
Muggle clothes. so you can go back home.
Just perfectly. It was also like it
So
was
hot.
June in Orlando.
Exactly. It was hot.
The
And
weather
I was
was
wearing,
not
like,
for Paula
tights.
had full school uniform.
Yeah. I had a long sleeve shirt, a tie, a vest, a skirt, the tights, the biker shorts to prevent chafing, school shoes. Like, I needed to.
Like
It was
3
too much.
levels of too many layers for Orlando.
Yes. You definitely would not be seeing that at the park in the summer. I'll tell you that right now.
That's like also been like my consideration whenever I think of LeakyCon, because I'm always like July in Orlando.
But it's indoor.
It's indoors, yes.
So I feel like that's different. I don't know.
Should be better. Yeah.
It should be. Like, I feel like you're gonna.
We didn't have to walk too far to the theater.
Yeah, that wasn't awful. It could have been worse.
Walking back was a little rough.
It was a little rough, but it could have been raining. That would have really messed things up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wore my little London bow in my hair.
Yeah, the Ravenclaw one with bronze and blue.
It's my favorite. I like wearing that bow. I've worn it pretty frequently.
I love it.
I don't think you always see it, but I actually have worn it a lot.
That's your official Ravenclaw accessory.
It is, and I like, and it doesn't hurt my hair. I have problems with certain types of bows and clips.
Yeah. So. Well, I don't have hair to clip them to, so I clip them onto my wigs.
Whatever works.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So, but yeah, I wish they would bring those concerts more often.
Same. It looks like they seem to be expanding them outside of just Harry Potter more. Like, yeah, no, there's literally like the website for the Harry Potter concerts. They have their whole site set up.
Like, I would love to see Indiana Jones like that.
Yeah, well, they do that one. They do Indiana Jones. I think they've done E.T. occasionally.
Okay. We're gonna have to start like
Gladiator is the one I keep seeing a lot of information about now, but I don't have that much interest in Gladiator.
Me neither. But it sounded good. The clip sounded good. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're going for the music, it could be.
I really want to do something Christmas themed.
Yeah. I mean, but it's not Christmas yet. We still have to pass Halloween.
We do have to pass Halloween, but it is Christmas in July coming up.
I like the way you think.
Hallmark's getting ready to show some Christmas movies.
Oh, that's right. They do. I don't really watch like Hallmark movies. Is that bad? Like, I know people are like obsessed with them.
I don't judge you for not watching them. I watch them occasionally.
I know people who are like
have to watch it on the premiere. I watched one earlier this week and I had a good laugh about it.
Yeah.
There was this, it reminded me of one of my friends. So this guy gets stood up at the altar and this girl gets stood at the altar and they run into each other. And this girl's like talking to her sister and she's breaking down and she just goes, "It's because I made him watch The Sound of Music and he hated it. It's such a good movie." And it reminded me of like something one of my friends would say, and I was laughing so hard and it wasn't like that funny. But I'm like, no, she would have said this. And it may even have been said in the context of The Sound of Music. I just like movies with snow, and I think it's because I live in Florida and I don't see snow anymore. That seeing that, like even like with Harry Potter, when they pan over Hogsmeade and it just looks like snow, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I
have that feeling in the parks when those few times we get those cold days and you walk into Hogsmeade and you're like, oh, hot butterbeer time.
I cannot wait for that. Same. I need that back.
I can't wait.
I need that back. But it doesn't last long. That's the thing. Doesn't. Or you could leave like in the morning and it's freezing, freezing for Florida. And you get dressed to go to the parks in your little sweater. And then by noon, you have to put your sweater in your backpack.
Or there's like the opposite where you go expecting Florida weather and you get there and all of a sudden you're freezing. And you're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's how I have a Ravenclaw beanie is because I went this past year and I was expecting we had like a very warm, mild weather. And then the one day we were there, it was so cold. Like they were selling out of all their gloves, their scarves. The lady could not keep them on the shelf.
Let me tell you, on celebration or whatever it's called, I don't even know what they call it anymore. The I was with Felix, and he came with like very minimal like things, because he had like his carry on,
That's
and
when
that
it
was it.
was.
And he came, he was like dressed. I gave him a scarf. He was fine, but then like when it started to get like nighttime, it was cold, and he was shaking. I told Hansel, bring like one of my pairs of leggings or something, so he could like put them under his pants because he was freezing. Like I felt so bad. He was like shaking.
Oh,
Yeah. So then I told him, and it was his last day, so I was like, you don't have to return the
yeah.
leggings. You could just like toss them or whatever. But at least it was another layer.
Yeah, and those are the days that throw people off vacationing the most, is because they're expecting warm Florida, and then you get this really random cold day.
Yeah, or even if you prepare for it being cold, you're thinking it's Florida,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Even people from up north sometimes, and I think it's the humidity. I think the humidity makes it colder. You get like, I don't know, but I mean, on one of those days, I had to wear gloves. My hands were freezing. I was like,
No, I got my
I,
beautiful Ravenclaw beanie because of that weekend.
yeah, I was like, nope, this is what's this. I've become Floridian now. I'm wearing gloves in the winter.
I don't think I've gotten that far yet.
Not yet, but maybe. You have to still acclimate a little bit more.
I'm just at about 2 years, so
Yeah, you're still new. I've been in Florida for 35 years.
I'm still new. And even like with Oklahoma, I still like lived by my Pennsylvania ways.
My best.
Born and raised. I don't break it
We got
easily.
sidetracked, by the way.
We got so sidetracked, but that's okay.
We hit like 8 different topics in however long it's been.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else that stuck out during the concert.
I liked at the beginning when he did like the whole, like asked everybody like what house they were in. And I like the way he said Slytherin. It was like Slytherin.
But it was really funny because there was like this like pause in the audience, and then the like non-Slytherins would start booing, and then those Slytherins responded, and then me being me going like, you don't boo Slytherin, they're not all.
Yeah, they're not all
like,
bad.
I have to hold myself back because sometimes you're like, oh, you don't understand the real Slytherins, and I'm like, you can't
understand. You can't. People don't get it.
I'm not
People
a Slytherin, but I'm ready to fight.
Lennon will fight anyone. Lennon he says he's a Slytherin. He tells everybody that.
Do you think
but he likes
is?
villains. It's possible. Even though I think London might be a little bit more, but if I tell her that, she'll like burst into tears.
Yeah, give her some time.
Because she'll like, I'm like, but Karina, like all these people you love are Slytherin. Like, you'll be
Everyone
fine.
needs a Slytherin in their corner.
Exactly. That's what I told her. She's like, but she will like birth, even with, that talking sorting hat. She put it on once and she pressed it and it said Slytherin. Homegirl needed to recover for like 4 days. It was so bad.
I was at a thing and they had that. It was like I think it was like when Target did a Harry Potter event. For one, I also don't put on hats and that are communally used like that. That creeps me out. But also the girl was like, oh, do you want to see what house you're in? I'm like, I know what house I'm in. And if that tells me something different, I'm going to have like an identity crisis and I can't handle that. I'm like, I know it's going to lie to me.
I refuse. I am not going to sort at Target or wear this hat that could have lice.
I know my house. I'm pretty like I know people do the secondary houses. And you don't do secondary. But nope. Like I am very strong Ravenclaw that there's like you don't even bother looking at a secondary.
Yeah, no, there's not. I don't believe in secondary. I mean, I guess you could have like some of the other houses' traits.
I always referred to it as, and I think what you would call a secondary has morphed a bit in the last few years, but years ago, I would say, like, when people would ask me secondary, I'm like, I'm a Ravenclaw with Hufflepuff tendencies. Right. Like, I wouldn't say it's secondary, but I have a few little traits. But I don't like people enough to be a Hufflepuff.
Gotcha. I love people.
You
love
make a great
people.
Hufflepuff.
I do. But I do, I guess I see where I love people, but I also can dislike people. And, I have that whole, if I cut you off, you are not coming back.
Yeah.
It is, I don't have a reconnection fee. So, and I think in that's probably my Slytherin tendencies, but that is not a secondary house. I just want to let everybody know. Because I know like Alex loves to say that my secondary house is Slytherin. Even though I tell her that I don't believe in second houses. Right. I don't believe in second houses and I don't collect pins.
Yeah, you don't collect pins. Got it.
No, I haven't bought anything in like 6 months.
That's actually really impressive. But you're saying that as we're getting ready to head into LeakyCon. I have my gallery wall behind me with noticeable empty spaces specifically because of LeakyCon.
Like what do you like, because you buy like art and stuff there? Or?
I get a good chunk of the art on this wall, and I will actually be posting the gallery wall probably in August once I get the other stuff up, is from LeakyCon things.
Okay.
So
what you're telling me is there's no way I'm going to get away with not spending money there.
My favorite part of LeakyCon is the vendor market.
Okay.
There's so
I know
much...
a few people that are doing it.
Yeah, I know a few people that are doing it, but it's usually pretty big. I have an online bank account that is not like my official bank account that I put some like $5-10 extra when I have it, and I move it over there, and that's my guilt-free bank card that I'm allowed to use at events like LeakyCon.
Oh my God, I'm not ready for that.
So, but I've specifically been waiting since pre-COVID, going, no, LeakyCon's coming. I'm not going to buy art just to buy art. I want to go to LeakyCon and pick it up.
Yeah, I know. Like, Ivy's going to be there. The yellow squib.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have a booth there. Molly, who is oh my God, I never remember her shop
seamstress
name. The Enchanted Seamstress.
Enchanted Seamstress.
Thank you.
I have a list somewhere.
I know her personal one. Well, it's her Pottergram account is PJM Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
But like she's gonna be there, and she has like those cool wizard hats that she makes.
That is on my list.
Yes, I want another one. I think I want a yellow one. I have a black one. I love it.
And I think Whimsy and Zest might be there. I know Oddment and Tweak's supposed to be there. I've been trying to, like, as I see people say, oh, hey, we'll be there, I'm trying to like make note.
Yeah, those are the only two that I know.
Yeah,
like shop wise that will be
there will also be a booth called the Wizarding Wireless Network, and you will be able to find a bunch of Harry Potter podcasts represented there, and you can get a pamphlet with all of them listed out.
Oh, will you be listed there?
I will be listed there. I may even leave some business cards there. Because I have those now. And if not, people just need to find me and they can get a business card and some ribbons.
Yes. You're going to have to help me with the ribbons.
I will help you with the ribbons.
Do they take long?
We're getting close to when they would need to be ordered by.
Okay.
So what people do, for those that don't know, is they're usually like at like business type conventions where you see underneath the name tag, there'll be like a ribbon that says like vice president, sales manager. And at LeakyCon, people get them made and they'll have quotes on them. Or they'll have like, I've seen ones where like Snape, hero or villain. So it'll be like a discussion starter. People will coordinate them with cosplay. They're all over. I have examples of, they're in the shadow box.
Amanda had messaged me, Magic Under the Stairs. And because she had put something like, oh, I haven't even ordered the ribbons or whatever. And I was like, I don't even know what I would put on a ribbon. She put, Paula doesn't collect pins, long bottom 2024.
Just hashtag not a pin collector.
No, hashtag not a pin collector. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's something, I know it happens at other cons. So I know it happens at a Dr. Who convention. But it is very specific to some of these like LeakyCon-esque conventions. So like the first time, I haven't actually never done ribbons, but the first time I went, I was like, wait, what is this thing? So I've been trying to tell people because it is something very specific. Trading is also very big at these conventions.
Like The trading of the ribbons or trading of other things? I don't
Ribbon
know because I've
both.
never been
Yeah.
to LeakyCon ever.
Both. So people will trade their ribbons, so that's a big thing. But people will also make, like, I've known people that will make like keychains or like friendship bracelets in house colors and like little knickknacks and stickers and stuff. I saw your face. And in my head I thought of the reel that you did with the sorting hat. where it's like Hufflepuff and you're like, you haven't even, and you're like, want a friendship bracelet? And that's what I thought of when I saw
I was like, what is it? It's yeah, like you walk up and I haven't even been sorted yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even been here 10 minutes and you're already making people friendship bracelets.
Yeah.
I was like, bracelets? Like house Girl,
yeah, like,
I have so many like of the beads. I have so many. Oh my God.
Like any like little trinkety type stuff, people love trading and it becomes like a huge thing. So like I have like, someone did they put them on key rings and it was like, you know how you make the friendship bracelets with like the embroidery floss? It was that, but they were made to look like the house scarves.
I have that too. I have a little like I have a crafting problem. This is like so bad. I buy anything that I mean, I used to make friendship bracelets. I mean, I'm a 90s high schooler, okay? So I was making friendship bracelets and selling them at school since middle school. So I saw this like, it's like a little contraption that like holds the embroidery floss. I mean, I used to tie it to my toe when I was a kid.
I did the same thing, and then I found out they had those contraptions. I'm like, where were you?
It even has a little drawer on the side to like keep all your.
Dang.
So I have that too. But I have that. I have like the bead. I have tons of beads that I haven't even done anything with. Oh my God. I have so many things to do.
This is the event for it. I've actually, because I have a lot of stickers. I am not a sticker person.
Yeah.
But I have like
tons of stickers.
So I've been redecorating my office. I've been putting all these stickers because I don't have the heart to get rid of them. It's not my thing. I don't like. I saw someone posted a picture and it was their sewing machine that had stickers all over it, and I was just like, I can't do that.
It was Nicole.
I was like, my anxiety. I was like, oh my God.
Kayleen does it too.
I can't.
Kayleen, Nicole. I know. I see people with their laptops, like with all the stickers.
I used to get very upset. Like, you know how you would write notes on like notebooks in school? If someone wrote on the cover of my notebook and would ruin it by writing something, it drove me crazy. I'd get so mad. Inside it was fine, but if you put it on the cover, I'm like, now it's ruined.
Now it's ruined.
But now I've been putting a bunch of those stickers together so that I can do trading with them. I also think I'm going to do a little secret drops of podcast little kits of things to give away throughout it. So
I have so many things to do now. Look what you did. Now I need to make bracelets. I have stickers. I could like put stuff with like our shop business card. That's it. I'm not going to have time to make a cosplay.
You got to pick and choose. But
yeah. Are you going to do like any of the like meet and greets or anything like that?
I will. We should get the schedule within a week or two before the convention. Amy, Big Fat Lanyards, is doing a meet and greet. I will pop into hers because it's Amy. I am not a pin collector, but it's Amy, so I will pop into hers.
Oh, okay.
The podcast is not doing a meet and greet or anything.
Okay.
Essentially, if you want to meet and greet, if you see me, come meet me, and I will greet you.
Meet and greet. What about the celebrities? Are you doing any of that or not really?
So I need to look at the list again.
I know it's like, now I saw that Chris Rankin's going to
be there. Devin Murray's going to be there. I just blanked on his name. Gregory Goyle's name. Sean Biggerstaff.
Yeah.
And I have to look whose autograph I don't have.
Yeah.
So my Hogwarts poster right here, I had happened to slowly collect them. And so if there's someone missing, since I already have it, I don't go out looking for autographs, but I've already started this thing.
So you got to finish it.
That I'm like, oh, if there's someone, I would like to add to it, but I can't recall if there's anyone that I don't have already.
You're like, I'm only interested in meeting Matthew Lewis. And since it doesn't look like he's going to be here. I'm probably not.
The last convention, they announced people up to like a week before.
Okay.
Like Tom Felton got announced the week before the convention.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that's the only thing I'm interested in. Especially since you have to pay for it.
Yes. For you, I will believe for Matthew Lewis to be there.
Yeah. That's what I want.
And if that's what happens, I need you to dress up as Neville.
Okay. Maybe. We'll see.
Or you could go as Luna.
I could go as Luna.
Since we're on the LeakyCon topic, and since you have not gone before, are there any other questions? Because I'm sure there's a lot of new people going, and maybe there's other things that people
I just don't know like how it works. Like, is there like I know that there's like the panels, and I'm assuming obviously there's a schedule for that, but like the rest of the time you're just like walking around and talking to people.
LeakyCon, so a lot of conventions, so like if you're thinking of like MegaCon or Fan Expo, people go to that convention to meet the actors, meet the people, see the panels. LeakyCon is in this unique situation, is like the people you talk to at LeakyCon, most of them will tell you the reason they are at LeakyCon is for the people attending LeakyCon.
Right. And I think that that's probably where I fall, because I do like to meet new people. I like to get to know people that I've talked to like on Instagram for years or what, that's what I am. I think that that's what I am there for.
LeakyCon is the perfect con for you, because you'll just be able to get to meet a ton of people, be prepared for screen name sharing and going, we already follow each other. That happened to Emily the Nerd Jacket and I. We met each other. We had been talking leading up to LeakyCon.
It was my first follower.
She was. She's very proud of that. She's very proud of that. We had this, we were like both embarrassed about it, but since it was both of us, it was okay. But we, leading up to it, we're like, we need to meet. We met each other, DMing each other that night going, we need to make sure we meet up. A few minutes later, I asked one of my other friends, I'm like, hey, is this Emily? And they're like, yeah. And I like had to message her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to feel so stupid telling you this, but we met this morning.
Oh my God.
Because we had met so many people, we hadn't realized we had met each other and we're planning to meet up.
Oh my God. That is hysterical.
We were both so embarrassed about it.
Listen, I am really good with people's names. Like once I know your name, that's it. That's kind of like, but with the screen name thing, if you don't have your name in your profile, or for some reason I haven't gone to your profile to like look, and I meet you and I know who you are because I've talked to you.
You need to tell me your handle also.
Yeah. I met I've met Heather before, but I only knew her as H. Bellin's son. And I was like, I know that your name is with an H, but I cannot. And I was honest with her. I was like, I don't know if it was Helen or Heather, but I think it's Heather. And she was like, it's Heather. I was like, oh,
rule of thumb at LeakyCon, when you're introducing yourself, just be like, hi, I'm Dani at Mandrakes and Mischief.
There you go.
It helps so much just to be able to be like, and not have that moment of we already met each other and didn't realize it. But we liked each other, so that's the good thing. It's not like we met each other and we're like, oh, that was awkward.
It wasn't like, I can't wait to meet you, but I met this girl earlier. She was the worst.
That would have been awful. Not that we would have ever said that to each other.
No, I know, but that's the kind of thing that you think like, my God, thank God I didn't say something stupid.
Yeah, and so like there'll be a lot of like Wizard Rock is a big thing.
Okay.
It's not my realm of knowledge.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I have no idea.
If you want that realm of knowledge, Bess has a podcast and it's like a radio show and it's called WZRD Podcast. It's WZRD Radio. And it's just Wizard Rock music and it's great.
So there's actual bands that like play Wizard Rock?
Essentially, like a lot of them are called, like I think Harry and the Potters are supposed to be there.
I know
Tonks and the Aurors.
I have a shirt. Actually, I think I might have two. Because I was trying to get a pin. and I ended up with a shirt. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so Wizard Rock's a big thing. They do a big like Yule Ball type. Essentially, in my head, it's like prom for adults. But people wear like the gamut of things. Like there's a lot of cosplay. There's a lot of like.
So people like so let's say like this Yule Ball thing. So you go, I'm assuming that's on Saturday. Probably.
It usually is.
So in the daytime, you're dressed in your cosplay, and then at night you change into your.
Some will wear the same cosplay. Some will wear regular street clothes.
Okay.
It's the whole gamut. Like you'll see people in like a full-on like prom dress, and then you'll see people like me in a jeans and t-shirt. Actually, I think last time I went, I was dressed as a pygmy puff.
Oh, cute.
I might have to bring that back out. I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, oh, I still have all that.
Yeah. Like I still don't know what I'm like. I haven't really like stuck to what I'm doing yet.
Like I thought one day planned.
Like, oh, I could just bring back, my pre-Wizard Harry, as I call him, with the umbrella, just because it's already done and I have everything. But I think I would hate to have to. Yeah. So I feel like I would hate having to carry the umbrella all day.
I don't like carrying things. That's why I keep like thinking about ways of not to carry things.
I told you we're gonna have to crochet a little bag for you.
This is how I always end up in overalls, is because it just has pockets everywhere.
Pockets. You like pockets? Yeah. I still don't know. I haven't like really like said this is what I'm gonna do.
They usually, I think they'll probably do it again this year, is they actually create an app for the convention.
Okay.
And it essentially kind of has like the look of like Instagram with the schedule. So you can like post photos, so people will be like, hey, I'm going here. Or like if there's solo visitors, they're like, hey, anyone down for lunch?
Okay.
So, and you'll see people and people be like, hey, trading ribbons over here. We'll be here at this time. So you can like meet new people. So it's a good resource. It's not up and it's not confirmed that it's going to happen. Right. But if it is, you'll hear about it. But it's definitely worth having. It was always fun to like follow along everyone's story. I used to post as I traveled. When I did Dallas, I did traveling Newt. So my little Newt minifigure. It was just photos of him because I drove to Dallas because I was in Oklahoma at the time, and you would just follow Newt around.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm ready. Well, I'm not ready, but I'm ready. We're
mentally ready, but our stuff is not.
Our stuff is not ready.
I can't wait. I have the cutest little microphone I'm bringing.
Aww.
That it's this big. It like fits in the palm of my hand, and it plugs into my iPhone.
Oh.
So I'm going to do on the spot. I want to do like 1 to 2 minute interviews throughout the convention floor. So why don't we wrap up this episode?
All right.
Do you have anyone else you want to shout out? We did a lot of shout outs for this.
I know. I mean, some of them, I don't know if they're really shout outs, talking about Nicole and her stickers and Kayleen and her stickers.
I mean, let's just be honest. We're going to shout out Nicole Lumos_Stitches because she's fabulous and I love her.
Yes, I love her squirrel stories. That's like my favorite thing.
Her squirrel stories.
I love her stuff, but I also love her love of squirrels.
Her love of squirrels. Her Dobby cutout has become one of my favorite things.
Her reels are hysterical. Like sometimes I'm watching them and I'm like, how do people come up with stuff like this? Like
if you are having a bad day, just go follow Nicole's reels. It makes everything better.
You could just like swipe through and it will be 1000% laughter like all the time. Yeah, it's just hysterical. And definitely watch her stories because she always has some kind of like shenanigans going on.
That's the exact word for Nicole is shenanigans.
Shenanigans. She should be Lumos Shenanigans.
She really should.
I'm gonna tell her tonight she needs to change.
And she has a great shop too, so check out her shop. But
check out her shop. She has these new croc charms that by the time this airs will already be like in her shop. But she made these Birdie Bot bean croc charms.
Yeah, you did that really cute reel for her.
Yes, and I love them. They're the Birdie Bot ones. They're like super sturdy. I snapped them in. They were really easy to put in.
She's chocolate frog ones too, right?
Yes. But I love the Birdie Bot ones.
Candy Crocs all around.
She even made like what do you call it? The Dumbledore candy.
The lemon sherbets.
Yes. Let me shout out. We have Kayleen, who we already talked about. Bits and Bobbin's shop. She has like the best headbands anywhere.
Yes.
Let's see, who else? Karina. I have to shout out Karina because that's my
Shout
girl.
out Karina, and the fact that she's going to be having a food truck soon.
Food truck. I'm so freaking proud of her because like she's been talking about this for so long, and like to see it from like the very beginning,
the thought process, the
thought process, like, you know, when she started doing like the fundraising and like selling the shirts and then the seasoning, and like now she's doing pop-ups, and at the end of July she'll have her food truck. I'm so proud of her. Like I'll almost cry just thinking about it because I think sometimes she doesn't realize like how amazing she is. And how like inspiring she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's so inspiring to a lot of people, and just watching that process of her starting her business like from scraps basically to now, I'm just super impressed with her. And if follow the Brujas Table, and if you're in the Orlando area, check her out. She's got like the best empanadas.
She's always posting where her pop-ups
food.
are.
Yes. So, and a couple weeks after this airs, she'll have her food truck. So she'll be even more available.
Yes.
Not available, but she'll have more
mobility.
Thank you. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'm excited for LeakyCon. I'm excited and a little bit nervous, but not like nervous because I don't get nervous meeting new people. I'm just like nervous that I don't know what it's like.
It's just a new experience.
It's new, yeah. So
yeah. And if people are coming, like let us know. Let us know on the gram.
Yeah.
So we can find you, or you can find us.
A lot of people like Tom, Hotties of Hogwarts is coming. Steph is coming from Canada. Spellbound stuff. I know
Carla is coming down.
Carla's coming.
Geo Jammies.
Yes, Geo Jammies. Who else? There's like so many people that I can't even like
cosplay. Everyone. Yeah. Like it's going to be a huge Pottergram collision that will be happening.
Yes. And I want to shout out Felix, because Felix, if he's listening, Felix is amazing. He's the Wandering Hufflepuff. It's the _wandering _Hufflepuff. And if you ever meet him in person, that name fits him perfectly, because you could be talking to him and 2 seconds later he's gone. But he's amazing. He's fairly new to the Pottergram, but he's awesome. I'm trying to like convince him to see if he'll come to Leaky, but I know that it's expensive, and that's part of the
high, very high right now.
Yeah. So but
yes.
Hopefully.
Another big thank you to CineConcerts for getting us those tickets. We had such a good time.
Yes, that was amazing. And like I said, I had already seen it in concert, but it was still amazing. And it was a different experience because I saw it from orchestra instead of from the mezzanine. They were great seats, and it was great. And I honestly, I have nothing bad to say about it, because I feel like if you have the opportunity, you need to see it.
And I would see it again.
Yeah, I would see
like the next day. I would have seen it again.
But I would even see my least favorite movie repeatedly.
Is that number 4?
It is number 4. It is number 4. I would watch it several times. It's just really good. It's so good.
It is. And then just minor podcast news. We are switching to bi-monthly for a bit.
Okay.
To breathe. So 2 episodes a month, but we are back as of this episode. Podcasts are back on the regular. It'll just be every other week rather than weekly, so I don't cry from editing so much anymore.
Yeah,
not that I cried during editing. It's a lot when you also work a full-time job.
A full-time job, exactly. No, and you have to take care of yourself. That's very important.
Yes.
Self-care. But I'm very excited that it's back.
And thank you again for joining me, Paula.
Thank you for having me.
And that is our episode. Bye.
All right. Bye.